On today's episode of the Ag Irrigation Collective, we're going to visit about the history of the center pivot. Stick around. Hi, I'm Wes Schaefer, your host with the Ag Irrigation Collective. Appreciate you stopping by today. We're going to have a little visit about the history of the center pivot and what it's meant for the future of agriculture. Center pivot irrigation is a method of crop irrigation in which equipment rotates around a center point in a field, and the crops are watered with sprinklers. A circular area centered on that pivot is irrigated, often creating a circular pattern in the crops when viewed from above. Most center pivots were initially water-powered. However, today, most are propelled by electric motors. Center pivot irrigation systems are beneficial due to their ability to efficiently use water and optimize a farm's crop yield. The systems are highly effective on large land fields. Center pivot irrigation was invented in 1940 by Frank Ziebach, who lived in Colorado. Center pivot irrigation is recognized as an effective method to improve water distribution to fields. Ziebach began developing a self-propelled irrigation system after observing another farmer irrigate crops by using a tractor to tow a long pipe, outfitted with sprinklers. By 1947, Ziebach's system featured two sections of pipes on skids, suspended by cables from two towers. By 1949, the device included 5 towers with pipes running on wheels and could irrigate 40 acres. Ziebach then added water valves for siphoning pressurized water from the main pipe to drive the wheels and maintain tower alignment. In 1952, Ziebach was granted a patent on a larger irrigation system called the Ziebach Self-Propelled Sprinkling Apparatus, with a 600-foot boom that could water 135 acres, which would be all but the corners of a standard 160-acre section of land. Also in 1952, Ziebach went into business with A.E. Trowbridge and Ethan James Olson from Columbus, Nebraska. Trowbridge put up $25,000, which got him 49% of the patent rights. Ziebach moved from Colorado to Columbus, opened a shop, hired a few men, and went into business. In the first few years of operation, they sold only 19 systems. The early designs were finicky and few farmers understood the systems. Ziebach kept improving his designs and focused on making his machines better rather than attempting to sell systems with problems. Ziebach saw success with modified designs, which improved the system's operational efficiency. In 1954, he licensed his patent to Robert Doherty and his company, Valley Manufacturing. Doherty's engineers spent the next decade refining Ziebach's innovation, making it sturdier, taller, and more reliable, and converting it from the hydraulic water power system to electric drive. Doherty's company went on to grow into Valmont Industries. Ziebach and Doherty designed and manufactured center pivots based on the strong belief in conserving water and increasing crop quality yields. After 1969, other Nebraska manufacturers followed in Valmont's footsteps. It has been said that the center pivot irrigation machine is perhaps the most significant mechanical innovation in agriculture since the replacement of draft animals by the tractor. Frank Ziebach's center pivot irrigation machine invention has revolutionized irrigated agriculture around the world. Ziebach, who died in 1980, lived his final years in his quiet Columbus neighborhood. That's kind of a neat little history on the center pivot irrigation, and I appreciate you joining us today, learn about that. It's kind of interesting to kind of see where the history of that came from. I've been trying to look up books on a more complete history of complete beyond Frank Ziebach and Valley licensing that patent. I have attempted to compile a list of all of the manufacturers of center pivots over the years, which have been plentiful, but my list, I believe, is not complete. So if you have additional information on pivot manufacturers that I may be missing, send those lists over to me, put them in the comments of some off-the-wall brands that aren't your standard. I know there's even Pringle. Olson was a pivot. That one's a little more common than some of the other brands that were less known. I even believe a Rainbird had a pivot for a time. So sure appreciate you stopping by. That's going to bring this podcast to a close. Be profitable, my friends, and I'll catch you on down the road.